What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Camper Report. I have to actually leave to practice in about 25 minutes. So, we're going to give you a 20-minute show. We have 5 topics to run through for this 49ers show. This is a mid-afternoon show. So, it's usually not what I usually do because I usually do shows at night. I had a little bit of time today. I'm going to be busier later on tonight. I do leave to state tomorrow, so there won't be maybe content coming out, maybe even not even Saturday, because I will be at state. If you guys are wondering what this magazine is, at the bottom corner here, my name is on it. They were announcing people who went to state, and I was one of those people, and I'm in the magazine. So I just saved that copy because that's for memories. But let's get right to it. I don't have a lot of time to waste. Like I said, 20 minutes. So let's get right to the first topics. I might have banners if you guys want to. Again, this is super like last minute thrown together. If you guys want to go back, I'll try to post show chapters in the description, or tags or chapters, whatever it is, in the description. So if you guys want to go back, again, usually the banners that I put up help you guys navigate what you guys want to watch throughout the show. Since I won't be having those today due to lack of time, I'm going to just try to put up right after the show ends, show chapters in the description. So if you guys after the fact want to go back and watch this show, there will be chapters in the description that you can click on. Let's get into it. Seahawks. So the title of the show is What Happens If the 49ers Lose Their Third Straight Game? And I was thinking about this because it's, the first 2 losses are, not whatever, but definitely not as, I don't know how you put it. They're definitely not as bad losses as this next one could be if the 49ers lose. For one, the Seahawks are playing the Browns this week. The Seahawks, by the way, are only half a game ahead of the 49ers. The Seahawks are only half a game behind the 49ers. And if the 49ers lose this game and the Seahawks beat the Browns, the Seahawks are number 1 in the division. As well as head-to-head opponents that the 49ers have played. If the Seahawks beat the Browns, and obviously, as we know, the Browns have beaten the 49ers, that would count as head-to-head, what the 49ers have done versus what the Seahawks have done. So tiebreaker-wise, I mean, they've both beaten the Rams. Well, although, don't quote me on that. I don't know. Chat can let me know, but who won the last Seahawks-Rams game this season? Division-wise, I think they're both tied, but you'd have to – don't quote me on that. My point is, if they lose this game, they lose control of the NFC West. A few weeks ago, we were saying this team basically is super safe. They're almost untouchable at the number 1 seed in the NFC West. And now we're saying, wow, the 49ers could maybe get a little bit rattled here, So that's really a big problem for them. That is a huge problem because the 49ers, as we've known for the last 2 years, they need home field advantage because when you get to the NFC Championship game, who knows what's going to happen, especially when you're playing in a place like Philadelphia. Another thing, Eagles play Commanders. Now, last time the Eagles played the Commanders beat the Eagles. They're actually the Eagles. Well, hold on. The Commanders almost beat the Eagles. It went into overtime. The Eagles beat them, though. If the Eagles win and the 49ers lose to the Bengals, that now is going to make the Eagles 2 games removed from, the 49ers 2 games removed from the first seed, which is the Eagles right now. So that's another one. And at the end of the day, I'm not super worried about the Eagles because they have a hard stretch of games coming up. They have the Bills, they have the Chiefs, 49ers, Cowboys twice. So they have a hard stretch of games coming up. But still, I mean, it's hard to come back from when you're down 2 games in the NFL Because if the Eagles beat, like I said, Eagles beat the Commanders, 49ers lose to the Bengals, 49ers are 5-3, Eagles are 7-1. So it would be hard to come back from that kind of thing. Again, we do play each other later on in the season, so that could be a huge thing for tie-breaking reasons, but still, it could very well be something that is very huge. So those are some of the consequences that the 49ers will face if they do end up losing to the Bengals. Again, guys, to those who are just tuning in, we're talking about Brock Purdy today. We're talking about the upcoming Bengals matchup. We're talking about trades that the 49ers should make at the deadline. We're talking about why the 49ers shouldn't trade for Kirk Cousins in response to something that I saw on Grant Cohn's channel. We're talking about Sam Darnold most likely starting. We're talking about, so that's basically a quick rundown. But let's get to the next topic. Real quick, comments. Carcast, thanks for coming in. I haven't seen you in a while. I need to go check out your channel too, because I haven't checked it out in a while, and I want to know what you're kind of doing. So what's good with you? Carcast 49ers talk says Burrow and Chase is scary. Yeah, I will talk about that. Again, guys, I don't have a ton of time today. Will be like a 20-minute show. Calvin's Hobbs says, don't sleep on Seattle when the division is first. Yeah, for sure. Number 2, Brock Purdy. A lot of people this kind of the last 2 games have been giving him a little bit of hate. I will say that he didn't play good against the Vikings, but he also didn't play awful if you look back at it. There was at one point in the game when he was 11 for 13 and he had no picks, and so he was almost perfect. He finished the game 21 for 30. Obviously, he had the 2 picks, but was this game and even last game completely Brock Purdy's fault? Not really. I mean, every time he dropped back, he was under pressure. You had Jalen Moore, who, by the way, that Trent Williams, as I said yesterday on my video, Trent Williams is the most important part in the 49ers offense, because we saw how bad the offensive line is when he is not on the field. Jalen Moore isn't even a good second string. I mean, he's a bottom level second string tackle. And so, I mean, Brock Purdy was ailed by so many things. The pressure was bad every time he dropped back to throw. He obviously didn't have Debo. George Kittle clearly is declining, because the 49ers didn't even really target George Kittle much, which is kind of surprising. I thought they would more, but obviously George Kittle is clearly declining because they do not target him much anymore. And again, the offense was not sporadic solely because of Purdy. Again, like I said, the offensive line was terrible, but at the same time, it's like the Vikings knew that Trent Williams wasn't there. And I think the Vikings defensive coordinator, Brian Flores, is a good defensive coordinator. He's one of the best in the league, as we all know. And I think they knew, like, the Vikings defense is much improved from last year. It wasn't great, but the Vikings knew how to attack this 49ers team, and that's to blitz the hell out of them, especially when they don't have Trent Williams. The other thing is, the weakness on the Vikings was the run game, right? And the 49ers, their number one strength is running it towards Trent Williams' side. Well, now that Trent Williams wasn't playing in that game, there was one play, the run game to that side was so bad because Jalen Moore was in. There was one play during that game that sticks out to me, is when the 49ers lined up both George Kittle and Charlie Warner to block for Christian McCaffrey on that side while he was running it. And it didn't matter how many blockers they threw to that left side. It still didn't matter, because the Vikings were still going to tackle McCaffrey for a loss of 4. I think one time it was like a loss of 7. And there was always going to be holding penalties. And so it's just, they were at a major disadvantage. People say if we lose McCaffrey, that's bad. I think it's even worse if we lose Trent Williams, because we saw how really bad this team is without him. Niner Gang Podcast says, afternoon, youngin. He says, we've been struggling on offense the last 2 games. He says, we should go get Brunskill back, tight end selling, and he knows the system. And and can play all over the O-line. That is something that I did not think about. Brunskill. Yeah, I mean, that ties in. We can get to that right now. I'll get to that topic in a second because I did have a topic later on, trades that the 49ers should make at the deadline. I'll get to that in just a second because that is actually a very intriguing point. One other thing. I saw a clip on Grant Cohn's channel about how will the 49ers trade for Kirk Cousins? This is the old kind of topic that, sorry, I just hit my mic. I'm getting a little too excited, getting a little too animated. This is the old topic that kind of comes up on Grant Cohn and many different 49ers minds during the deadline. And obviously it's been coming up the last few years. Should the 49ers trade for Kirk Cousins? My main reason for this is no, absolutely not. And the reason why is if you were to trade for Kirk Cousins, what would this say about Kyle Shanahan? You're just giving up on a 23-year-old after 10 starts? Like, that's a recipe for getting fired. I mean, yes, like I said, Brock Purdy has struggled, but it really hasn't entirely been his fault. I'd say 30% of the struggles were him. But at the same time, it's like when he threw that game-sealing interception last game, he was under pressure. He had to step up and make a very hard throw under pressure with soft Vikings coverage. That was the last interception. And then the first interception that he made, I think was actually a decent, it wasn't a good throw, but it was good anticipation. But Jawan Jennings just got, how do you put it? Jawan Jennings got stalled, I guess, on the way to the ball because you saw that the Vikings safety kind of pushed him a little bit and that messed up the timing of the route. So I wouldn't even completely say that was Brock Purdy's fault in a way. So again, there's no way that they're trading for Kirk Cousins. And like I said, it would just be giving up on a plan that you committed to at the beginning of this season. It'd be giving up prematurely is what I'm trying to say. So that's why I do not think Kirk Cousins is even a remote chance that he's going to the Niners. And there's a chance that the Vikings don't even want to trade him in the division. Well, in the conference. Okay, so let's get to his topic. Trades that the 49ers should make. He just lined out one, Brunskill. You could probably get him for pretty cheap. I know a lot of people want the 49ers to get the guy from the Bears. His name is Jalen Johnson. My thing with that is I don't know if the 49ers are going to make that splashy of a move, especially on defense. They really have never made that splashy of a move in the secondary ever before. But here's a player that they could get for super cheap that is, I think, slightly better than Isaiah Oliver, in my opinion. And that guy is Dante Jackson. He's a corner for the Panthers. I think he's a nickel corner, but he could add depth. And you could literally trade a 6th-round pick. So to compare Isaiah Oliver's stats, and here's why I say the 49ers need to trade for a corner. The Vikings, I mean, I counted in the second half alone, the Vikings targeted and completed about 7 passes on Dante Jackson, on Isaiah Oliver. In the second half alone. I mean, he was just getting shredded. It didn't matter who the 49ers lined up with. Who the Vikings lined Isaiah Oliver up with, whether it be Jordan Addison, whether it be KJ Osborne, I think that's his name. There was another guy, number 4 receiver for the Vikings. It didn't matter who the hell they lined up with Isaiah Oliver. He was giving up a catch. And, as we saw, he's terrible in man-to-man coverage. There was a lot of times the 49ers were trying to press the Vikings because the Vikings were killing them in the short game. And so the 49ers tried to adjust and tried to press the Vikings, but they couldn't because Isaiah Oliver is so bad in man-to-man coverage, you cannot play press man-to-man with him. So a guy that he's not a great corner. But Dante Jackson, corner for the Panthers. Now, this year, he's allowed 13 receptions off of 19 targets. So that doesn't look very good. He's played 141 coverage snaps compared to Isaiah Oliver. Isaiah Oliver has allowed 27 receptions this year and 30 off of 32 targets, but he's also played 217 snaps. So about 86, no, 70, 76 more snaps than Dante Jackson. So this year, Dante Jackson has not done really as well as Isaiah Oliver, but hear me out. The Panthers don't have a good defense. And then you look back and it's like 2021 was, in my opinion, his best season in the recent years, Dante Jackson. And in 2021, he had an overall PFF grade of 61.3, which is about average. Off of 64 targets, he allowed 42 receptions, which is 45th in the league, which is about a mid-level number 2 cornerback. Because 45th, I mean, you have 32 starting number 1 cornerbacks, and then so it's about mid-level to low-level starting cornerback or starting number 2 cornerback, which is what the 49ers need. I mean, they don't need a number 1 cornerback. Charvarius Ward is their number 1 cornerback, and to me, out of all the corners last game, Charvarius Ward played very well. He had an interception, had almost 2 interceptions, and almost I think he broke up 3 or 4 passes. So he played well last game, Charvarius Ward. Really, all the 49ers are looking for is a guy who is going to just do the job and isn't bad at man-to-man corner coverage. And I think Dante Jackson in his career has had better stats than Isaiah Oliver. He just isn't playing, especially this year, has not been playing with a good defense. So that's just kind of my spiel. Dante Jackson, corner for the Panthers. Let's get up to real quick to the topic or comments, and then we'll get it going because I literally have 5 minutes left. So we need to get going here. But let me know what you guys think on this. I'm sorry I couldn't do a longer show. I'm pressed for time. Have to go to practice, cross-country practice. Let's see. 2 common factors in our wins. We score 30 and Moody doesn't miss. When those things happen, we win. Yeah, that is true. Moody has not been impressive so far. And I said go back because I did a video yesterday. It's titled, "What is Wrong with the 49ers?" And at the end, I broke down a few other things around the league. But at the end, I was talking about this, how the 49ers, the first 2 drives were really good. And because they didn't convert on either of those drives because of a fumble and a missed field goal, the 49ers kind of lost their confidence at the very beginning of the game. And ever since then, it was downhill. So go back and I previewed that more in last video that I did. Brunskill would have been fantastic at right tackle. Yeah, he would have. If we have a crap season, Cousins unfortunately is a free agent next year. He could be a Niner. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to him coming next year, but not at the deadline. Not at the deadline. You have to give it a season. Jalen Johnson from my city. I prefer him, but Dante Jackson is familiar with Wilkes' defense. Yeah, that is a good point that I did not think about. But yeah, shout out to CJ Ruthless. Go check him out if you haven't already, everyone. We should get DJ Jones to improve the run defense. We can give Denver Kinlaw in 6th round for DJ Jones. Yes, that's a really good trade scenario. JC Horn is available, but isn't JC Horn injured? I thought he tore his ACL or something like that. Or pec. Was it Peck? Jeff Okudah. He's not very good. That would not be an upgrade over Isaiah Oliver, in my opinion. I'll get to my prediction before the 49ers played the Vikings. I'll get to my score prediction in just a second. My prediction? Shit. It was 31-17, 49ers winning. Man, was I wrong. And then I changed it to 27-17. But yeah, I was sorely wrong. Could get Marcus Peters from the Raiders. He a dog. We need that. That's another good one. You guys are on fire today. Really are. Anyways, let's get to the next kind of thing. Matchup with the with the Bengals. How do we match up with them? I'm gonna run through these. Pass blocking for the Bengals, we all know is bad, but here's to give you a few PFF numbers or just kind of their grades for these individual players on the Bengals offensive line. The Bengals interior, now they are getting Brown, left tackle Orlando Brown back for this game. And so that should help the Bengals on the outside, but their interior, that does not cover up how bad their interior offensive line really is. And that means that Javon Hargrave and Eric Armstead have to do their job. Their starting guard, one of their starting guards, Cordell Volson, has a 23.5 PFF grade so far this season. That is one of the worst in the league. And another thing, Orlando Brown is just coming back from injury, so he's going to be rusty. Ted Karras, their other guard, has a 55.3 pass blocking grade. These are all pass blocking grades. And that's like a little below average. So that's kind of interior. Plus, they could maybe take advantage of Orlando Brown a little bit. The 49ers blitzing, their blitzing schemes have to be better as well, because that was something that I was sorely disappointed in last game. And then another key, Niners have to get Trent Williams back. If they don't, Trey Hendrickson, and don't count out Sam Hubbard as well. Trey Hendrickson, one of the best defensive ends in the league, playing in this game. Same with Sam Hubbard, who don't count him out because he's above average defensive end as well. If Trent Williams does not play in this game, I think we lose. I really do think I feel that strongly about this game. We lose. That's really what's going to come down to it. Because if he doesn't play in this game, we cannot run the ball. We will not be able to run the ball effectively. But the Bengals, I mean, the nice thing about them is they do right now ranked, they have the 27th ranked defense statistically. Cam Taylor-Britt, one of their starting cornerbacks, 64.9 PFF grade. That's average. Awuzie, 62.7 PFF grade. That's average. So their corners aren't great. I mean, Brandon Ayuk should be able to, but now we come down to our final topic. And our final topic is, so pressure on Joe Burrow is going to be key. But the thing is the book, I feel like, is out a little bit on the 49ers defense a little bit. And that is short pass, short pass, short pass. So if the 49ers don't come up with creative ways to blitz the quarterback, like I said before, the Bengals are just going to shred him just like the Vikings did. Real quick before I get out of here, another topic that I really want to stress is Sam Darnold is playing in this game. Ian Rappaport reported that, Brock Purdy didn't practice yesterday, has not cleared the concussion protocols. So he'll be back probably after the bye, which is after this week. But that means we're most likely going to see Sam Darnold. What do I want to see from Sam Darnold? Well, first thing, I don't want to see Sam Darnold at all. He's still, I just don't know. In his first start, is he really going to change anything? His interception problem, I don't think so. But the advantage that Sam Darnold and the 49ers have over the Bengals is the Bengals haven't seen what Sam Darnold looks in this offensive system. So Sam Darnold actually could look very good in this first game because of the way that the Bengals haven't game planned. Nobody has game planned for Sam Darnold this year. So with the weapons that are available, obviously Christian McCaffrey playing in this game, Trent Williams is questionable. With the weapons that are, and the 49ers did say that Trent Williams is hopeful to play, but with the weapons that the 49ers have, plus the fact that nobody knows what Sam Darnold is in this system, I think the 49ers could win this game with him. I'm not saying that he should take Brock Purdy's starting job, but I am saying that it could actually look surprisingly good. I wouldn't fool ourselves, though, because after a few games, we know what Sam Darnold is. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not too enthusiastic, but if Sam Darnold does have a good game. I'm encouraging everyone not to overreact, and I'm encouraging Kyle Shanahan to not bench Brock Purdy right away, because that is not the way to go. Not the way to go. Again, you, by trading Trey Lance, you invested your time and your reputation in Brock Purdy, not Sam Darnold. Not Sam Darnold. Trust me. So, I feel like if you start Sam Darnold after this week, it's almost a recipe for getting fired. But anyways, I wish I could kind of further myself on this topic. I have to go. I'm pressing for time. For everyone who did comment, I see Grandizer in here quite a bit. Real quick, CG Ruthless. I don't think it will cost nothing but a 5th or 6th round pick for Marcus Peters. Yeah. I mean, that's cheap as well. He's cheap. That's actually a sneaky good trade. But my final score prediction for this game, the 49ers do not get over 30 points. Their defense does have somewhat of a comeback. The 49ers limit their mistakes. Again, the key, another key for this game is 49ers cannot get over 2 turnovers, because we've seen that when the 49ers turn the ball over, they're not likely to win the game. Because of, I think the 49ers are more prepared for life without Trent Williams if he does not play, because it will be his second game gone if he does not play. I think the 49ers look a little bit better on offense, and we see the 49ers scoring about 24 points. I think it's going to be 24-23. Jake Moody has a chance to redeem himself in Santa Clara, and he does. He does. We win it in a game-winning field goal, 24-23. That is my final score prediction. I apologize once again if I do not get your guys' comments. I will be going live again, most likely on Saturday night. We're making a video Saturday night breaking down the top matchups of the week. I'm excited for the Bills-Buccaneers game tonight. Don't have time to break that one down, but we'll be breaking the Sunday matchups of the week on Saturday night, as well as a little bit more of the 49ers versus Bengals, because by Saturday, we should have a lot more clearance on whether Trent Williams is going to play. So I'll be going live or making a video more on this Trent Williams topic and Sam Darnold topic Saturday. I'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your afternoon, and thanks for all the support, because I saw a lot today. Thank you guys. See ya.